Best news of the day comes out of Activision Publishing CEO Eric Hirshberg, who in a conference call told investors that there is currently, quote, an industry-wide decline in pre-orders, and Call of Duty is not immune. That I agree with, and I'm happy as a pig in slop over. However, his next statement is what caused me to shoot this video. Quote, we think that's happening due to a number of factors. Things like increased digital consumption, particularly on the next-gen consoles, titles being widely available on day one, and the decline overall for demand of software on the previous gen consoles. End quote. Okay, allow me to dissect this a little bit. First of all, those reasons are completely bogus, and these publishers know exactly why pre-orders are in decline. These men and women didn't get to their high-powered positions without knowing a thing or two about market trends. It's obvious that pre-orders are slipping because, number one, the sleeping giant, you, is finally recognizing that these are the same games released every year. They have a tendency to be very buggy and half-assed, and at times they will never be fully patched. Secondly, demos have repeatedly been an exercise in bait and switch, with the actual game looking and playing nothing like previously shown. See Aliens, Colonial Marines, or Watch Dogs for examples of that. And another reason is the word has gotten out via individuals that are very influential like Total Biscuit, blowing the horn at Helm's Deep regarding everyone needing to stop pre-ordering these damn titles. On consoles, it's predominantly worth waiting because the game might be absolute garbage, and if you pre-order, you have no proof otherwise. On PC, the same rules apply, but waiting has potentially an even bigger payoff because typically there will be deep Steam sales somewhere around the holidays or during the summer. And the console version's price is still jacked up there somewhere near Pluto. Additionally, a console gamer is out a little bit of money because at least they can trade in their deceitful disc of escapism if, for instance, you bought Sacred 3, but try getting a refund for an open physical copy or digital purchase if you're a PC gamer. They cannot run out of game keys. All they can do is make their money off you before the cat's out of the bag that the game needs to be killed with fire. Now, I have stated that the one game I have for pre-order is The Witcher 3, and I stand by that as it's a well-established, excellent franchise from a developer who is anti-DRM and places PC scaling at a premium. Plus, I got it for $12 off. But there's some other titles out there that are listed for pre-order, and there's literally zero incentives offered. No discount, no plucked out and added on content, nothing. And these are from publishers well known to be actively staunch supporters of draconian DRM, which their PC ports are, shall we say, at the very least, hit or miss. Let me share with you a little personal tidbit. The last time I pre-ordered a game, it was based on hype, and because I absolutely love the original Red Dawn. The game was Homefront. It was built up as defending your homeland against an invading force, and word was that John Milius was even going to write the script. I couldn't open a web page or browse Steam without that highly effective propaganda being shined in my face. So I pre-ordered it. For full price, mind you, and maybe a multiplayer gun. In actuality, I got a painfully linear, mediocre shooter that had a semi-coherent campaign of only 3 hours and literally ended on a cliffhanger, or more appropriately, a bridge hanger. I was so furious that I said screw the multiplayer, uninstalled it, and don't even remotely care about its sequel, which incidentally I hear Crytek just let go of. I'm sure many of you out there have a similar game in mind right now, where you regret the purchase to such a degree that you end up vowing never again for one reason or another. From then on, I promised to myself I was going to reassess my video game purchasing practices. So here, let me give you some insight in how I normally go about purchasing a game that I'm interested in. Boom, day of release. Monitor a few corporate sites in order to get that baseline down. Then check later in the day what certain reviewers I tend to watch on YouTube have to say about it. If there's an overwhelming chorus of, "Don't wait, go get it before this second is over," enthusiasm from these reviewers, then I'll gladly pay full price because it's seemingly well deserved. If there's a mixed bag of, the game is alright, but it's certainly not a paradigm shift, Then I'll hold off until the user reviews on Metacritic and Steam start to pour in. At that point, I'll most likely wait for an at least 50% off Steam sale, and then pick up the Season Pass at a later date for $5 on Green Men Gaming. As an exceptionally busy adult with a full schedule, this strategy has served me pretty well for quite some time. Now, does all that mean that I place zero stock in what corporate reviewers have to say? Well, let me see. Fuck yes. Now, if the trend continues and pre-orders keep plummeting, publishers may try a blackmail tactic where they state that the decline in pre-orders means, quote, we have no clear vision of whether we can continue to fully fund this game, or insert game franchise with a big following but barely made any money. Sleeping Dogs or Tomb Raider would be examples of this, where they were at first deemed failures but eventually became profitable. This scheme would in essence be akin to a child throwing a tantrum, stomping their feet and screaming, then taking their ball and going home. It's a game of chicken. You know, when two cars are accelerating towards one another and the first to swerve loses? Money is all that talks to these people. So stop pre-ordering, and there goes a day one DLC. But here comes additional support through patches well into a game's life cycle, which will inevitably be longer due to the increased quality, with devs not having to waste time taking things out of the game. And prices might even come down because they need those sales. And less pre-orders equals less demand, which in economic terms means prices tend to drop. I can just say to everyone out there who has wised up and sworn off indiscriminate pre-ordering, good job. Keep it up and try to wake up as many people as possible. Will it be difficult for some to resist the urge to pre-order the next banal military shooter because you've been offered a special rifle which in your mind will give you a clear advantage on the digital battlefield, supposedly lessening the possibility that you'll look like a noob? Probably. Or the next time the media hypes a game to such a degree that you can figure it's a can't miss, even though if you look deeper you'd see the track record of the developer is spotty at best? Quite possibly. But always keep in mind the greater purpose, that if everyone stands their ground and these publishers see that the enticements aren't working anymore, that rifle, along with your peace of mind, will be in that title from the very moment of its release. And it's at that point where you can know and be so proud of yourself that you're leading the solution instead of bringing up the rear of the problem. This has been Sir James. I appreciate you watching this video. I cordially invite you to like, comment, favorite, and subscribe. Until next time, talk later.